So, dear Dhamma practitioners, this is our ongoing meditation session. And be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. So keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to understand how this meditation can help us to develop our conventional life, and at the same time, out of that conventional development, how you can build up a spiritual success. So when it comes to our day-to-day life, we all are seekers. We always go place to place, person to person, read book to book, and watch video to video, and listening talk to talk. So like that, we most of us go through many. And there are some people, they go to everything, and they go to everybody. They practice everything, but still they can't get any result. They don't change as who they are. And some people don't go to everything. They go to only one place. They do only one thing. But still, they're not going to give up who they are. They all keep doing things, but don't give up this idea of I am or the self, or they keep repeating the most powerful mantra, me mantra. Me, 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 me. I. So like that. Out of practice, out of this purification, out of this engagement, the very result you gain, you recognize yourself, that recognition will bring the change. So it is not you changing by thinking about it. The very first thing happen, you have to allow the recognition to happen. So that's where you have to put the awareness. That's where you have to put the energy. Once the awareness is there, the recognition arises as a result of awareness. So that's why the most of time without awareness, just imagine if we try to recognize, what will happen? Just we caught up on thoughts. That is what most of time happened to us. So then yourself, look how far you have to go this journey, how many talks you have to listen, how many days you have to practice, where the end. Because when it comes to you, that when the mind go always here and there, some people ask what to do. Because sometimes we come to practice and the mind not going to be at the same place with this kind of like with our mental object. So then most of people try to control it and keep it in one place. But you can control. Because mind itself, that what you experience, how are you going to control that? You controlling you. Then the both is kind of like you controlling you means that one person inside have a boxing fight. That's why there is no way that you can control so deeply. You have to understand with your own mind, and then by the time you can apply it to day-to-day life, because most in the day-to-day life, we believe we can control it. That idea came because of this machines and technology, because people used to maintain the machines. And so then they thought, oh, we can do it for mind also. But always remember, when the mind go here and there, this is the technique, that one technique you have to remember. So remind your goal. As if you practice meditation, then you remind, I practice meditation. And remind yourself how important it is for you. And remind yourself, this is a privilege for you, which may not going to happen tomorrow. Remind yourself, this is very rare. Because the very condition of you in this very moment, not happened by mistake. Your grandparents to grandparents, your parents sacrifice a lot, invest a lot, and all other humanity invest a lot to experience this moment. So then recognize the value of it. And in that way, you put your effort. And then another thing is recognize the danger. If you don't have this awareness, if you don't have this quality inside you, you are in danger in this outside world, because you can't depend on anything. There are two things that happen in day-to-day life. Sometimes you are capable to go to something, and sometimes some other things capable to come to you. So there is a time come, this both not going to happen. You can't go to other things or other people one day. And maybe other people can't come to you. So that day what will happen? You have to deal with yourself. You have to deal with your own mind. This is what we keep doing all the time. So then develop it. Cultivate it. Change it. Bring it to a more higher level. Bring it to a more profitable level within your own thoughts. You can do that. So one thing is, when the mind go anywhere, bring it back and know yourself. This is the greatest protection for you. Remind the goal again and again, again and again. So then, by the time you are capable to settle down. So that is one technique that always you have to remember while you practice. Remind the goal. So the next one is repetition. That is, when it comes to the mind, one is recognition. So recognizing something, that is so powerful when it comes to human mind. Another one is one of the most powerful thing, repetition. So we are not, habitually it happens, but consciously we can't repeat. So that habitual repetition related with the emotions, fear, desire, and it always interfere with something and try to take us away towards something, to a past or the future. So when the mind go to past or the future, or with any idea with self-centered mind, can you bring it back to your primary mental object? Inhalation, exhalation, or the contemplate the body, or the contemplate the sensation, or the contemplate on thoughts, or the contemplate on phenomena. Very natural process that happens around us, or the Dharma. So now your mind go with many kind of like pickles, and it's a kind of like a non-stop modification, manifestation regarding many things. And it's go through anything. So that's kind of like a stream. The mind, the thinking mind itself, a kind of like a stream. And so in that very level, it may go to back and forth again and again and again. So in that very level, in that pickle mind, can you come back to the moment? So repetition of that, repetition not about something. Repeat to come back. When the mind go without struggling, without resisting, that's mean having the intention not allow your mind to go. No, you don't do that. You just focus 100% to the sensation. And if the mind go, once you recognize, because the recognition is a power. So you recognize it as soon as possible, it go away. Maybe it take time. It take 1 minute to recognize, or maybe 2 minutes from the beginning, maybe 5 minutes to recognize. Or maybe from the beginning, some days, you sit for meditation, close your eyes, and thinking, maybe you set your alarm for 20 minutes. And when the alarm ring, you recognize you sit for meditation. Why? Your mind somewhere else. Because you didn't recognize it. What the purpose, what the goal. So sometimes after 10 minutes, you recognize, oh, I sit for meditation. I just keep thinking, need to bring back to the breathing, and then you settle down. Maybe it take 5 minutes, 1 minute to recognize that. And once you recognize, so that's the power, again and again, that recognition will help you to be very clear. And at the same time, once you recognize it, that the ability of recognizing becomes stronger. Listen this very carefully and try to understand it. When you recognize, so that is one pillar you can develop, one power that you can develop in your mind, recognition. So it's not going to happen by praying, by thinking. So the recognition going to happen only by recognizing. So then what you have to recognize? Your primary mental object and be with it. So another way that your conscious decision, your present moment of interference, your present moment of engagement with your intention or the goal, again and again, remind it, recognize it. So, and recognition happen only by recognizing. So then master it, master it. When you recognize more and more, bring the energy, effort, and awareness, and look again and again what you recognize is there or not. Sometimes you feel like it is there, but it is not there. Sometimes there are a lot of things you think in your mind. It is there, but it is not there. So it is in your mind. You start to see it is in your mind, not about outside world. That's a nature of the outside world for a certain level, but it's because what appear is not there. So this principle you recognize by your own mind. What you recognize as something is not there. So as example, you feel anger, and then you start to recognize it. When you recognize it is not there, that means that recognition itself the reason to get out of. Greed, you recognize there is a greed, and then once you recognize it's not there. Joy, once you recognize it's not there. Satisfaction is a kind of like engage with the emotions, what we need. It is not a kind of like a very spiritual thing. You always look for satisfaction. So don't get mesmerized with the satisfaction, because there's no satisfaction. Look at it yourself, because in the moment you're satisfied, but then now it is not there. So you look into it rather than get mesmerized. You look into it and then you recognize it is not there. So like that, whatever comes to your mind, you recognize it. And that recognition will help you to know that what you take as mind is not there. So that's the power of recognition. Not focusing to outside people or things or events, something. No, it's deeper inside you. The second one, once you recognize the next most powerful ability that you can develop is repetition. To repeat, bringing back. That is not easy. See how many goals you had in your life, how many things you thought, but what happened one day when the mind goes somewhere, you didn't bring it back, and it just went away. Now even you don't know there was something that you thought in your life. That's why sometimes our creativity, sometimes our highest level of mind tuned to, it's kind of like a vibration, and try to open. But in that very moment, if you are not capable to bring your mind back to the moment, you're going to miss it sometimes. There are opportunities in life. It's not going to happen all the time, because nothing going to happen all the time. So then always you focus to become more better and develop your mind to a higher level. So that once you have that, it's not easy, because going within yourself, go into a more higher awareness is not easy. Very reason we have to cut a lot of unnecessary things inside us. So attaining to Buddhahood himself mean, if you look at his history of the life, and he used to cut off all the unnecessary things. And if you are capable to to detach, unplug everything. Then you will see. But it takes time. It takes time. So that's why this practice. So it is very difficult for us when the mind goes somewhere to bring it back. Oh, repeat. Repeat with the conscious decision. And maybe sometimes the habits can happen, that habits happen mostly unconsciously, because your higher things always need to relate it to people. Need to relate it to people. Need to relate it to outside worlds. And need to relate it to completion. Need to relate it to harness. Need to relate it to be free. So then how you can recognize you are doing a kind of like a conscious decision or habitual pattern. So if you do something mostly just by yourself and without sharing to people, and out of that repetition yourself, you become happy. So that's mostly you have a habit. Be careful. And if you do something, anything sometimes if you do with the people, for the people, and at the same time yourself, look for cultivation or the development inside you. So then whatever you do, it will change your path. It will help other people to change their path. So that is how you can recognize you are having a habit, or you are developing the repetition related to your conscious decision. So once you have this both yourself, then your development going to happen. So that development itself about your own this moment of mind. So then in this very moment of mind, if you are capable to release, let go, unplug, and willing to change who you are, give the best opportunity for yourself to grow. But most of time, in day-to-day life, we always try to repeat ourselves that unconscious behavior, and we allow it to go without any recognition. So that's the very nature of samsara. So then anybody, anywhere, you can practice this. You can develop yourself and you can change yourself. You can start a very brand new moment for you. So only thing is then, very first level, you have to recognize you are on the path of the habit or development with your own actions. So then once you recognize that and start to repeat again and again and again and again, go with your conscious decision. Even though it is hard, difficult, keep going, because it's worth for you. And when it is hard, when it is difficult, remind yourself the goal, and at the same time remind yourself this is the best opportunity for all of us to cultivate that development inside us. Because once you have that proper development, then your journey going to become more easy. And it's going to become more meaningful. Because otherwise, your life is going to become just numbers. Because just number itself doesn't have any value. You can't tell 500 is more better than 400. Because you don't know what it represents. The money-wise, if it is a currency, of course, 500 is better than 400. And if you calculate the suffering related to that, 500 level of suffering is, you can't tell it is better for me than the 400. So like that, your life, don't allow it to become just number. Can you put a value to it with the representing your own inner development? And then you will see day by day, little by little. So because this is not going to happen overnight. So then you have to have some effort. Keep practice. Keep coming back to the path. Keep coming back to the path. And in that way, you are capable to find your deeper success or the cultivation of your wisdom. And that wisdom going to become the greater protection for you from everything, everywhere. Another thing is, once you have that ability, what happens? You become very brand new person to you. That is the very important thing, because our own memory, our own mind, our own memory put us to suffering. The world change, everything change around us, people change, experience change, everything always change. But our own memory regarding us keep us in the same pain or the same suffering. So then you need to get out of that. So that's why your practice, you have to remember, remind, and repeat again and again and again yourself, and put it to the practice with the most highest effort in you, not half. You don't do half for you. Do the best for you. And in that way, naturally, by yourself, all with your bodily, verbally, mentally actions, always whatever the best going to come. That is the highest of creativity. And when you have that, when you perform your highest, and once it becomes the very natural process of your living, that's going to become the highest of human intellect. And that's going to become the highest of the contribution that you can do to this humanity, because the way you live today going to shape the future. So when you perform your highest and when you experience your highest just by yourself, when you give your best to others, and then it's going to become kind of like a networking, develop each other. So that's why spiritual practice is related to people and outside world, and within yourself also. And that's why if you do not practice just for you, you practice as a part of you and at the same time as a contribution. So with that, let's get into practice now. So your right palm on your left hand, neck get straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Sopatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. So now allow your inhalations, exhalations happen as it is. Just recognize it, do nothing extra. If your mind go here and there, bring it back again and again. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. Your backside. Your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. Also, by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata cha ammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Imaya dhamma anudhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi. Attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjissami. Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu. Sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.